Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for this hot, muggy afternoon, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative. And as always, I got my man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is GOAT artist, aka Shuttleworth the God, aka LB, Lot of Del Boss, Soul Wars creator, RingGangRadio.com, and building.
Yes, sir.
Recap edition.
Yes, sir. You know, Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Yo, what's good? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxer in the building. Ring Gang Radio, let's go.
Hey, Bodega P, straight from the silver. And as usual, but you above ground today. You taking the light today on this Sunday. Is that correct?
Oh, I absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just here chilling. No rats today, no roaches today, no nothing today. So
no foot soldiers today.
Everybody's taking a day off. The streets are flooded for the parade. So I'm just here chilling. I'm here chilling. Only thing I got pride in is my hands. And I'll let these hands go.
Hey.
Let them go like Tank.
Hey, that's
not like Broner. How about like Shakur Stevenson?
I'm not gonna touch that one.
Yeah, no.
But as always, though, we salute you for your service, though, as usual, man. Keeping our city straight. I
don't mind getting hit, LB. You know what I'm saying? I can take it. And dish it right back out.
That's the Ring Gang way.
Some of you pretty light-skinned niggas, man. Y'all ain't with them shits.
Nah, somebody got to get rough and rugged. Somebody got to do the dirty work.
That's fact.
Ain't bringing us back. And like short and light-skinned niggas. That's two. That's 2 for 1.
And all of us, but all he needs to do now is just keep his eating in check.
Short, light skin, and mumble mouth. Those were the ones you picked on back in the day.
And now it's like you gotta respect them.
Facts. And then last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's flash? Your boy Cautious Pilot, the West Coast Avenger #1 contender, preparing for liftoff. Destination Ring Gang Radio. Let's go.
There you go. Conscious Pilot stays elevated above the masses. Yes, sir. So, we definitely had an interesting weekend of boxing, and we'll definitely get into the bigger card in a little bit, but we definitely want to shed some light on the top-ranked card, the main card, per se, with Vasyl Lomachenko making his comeback after losing his belts to Teofimo Lopez against internet favorite and the favorite of a lot of battered women everywhere, Masayoshi Nakatani. That fight. You know what? And I know we talked about this before the pre-fights popped off. We were thinking at least it would have been competitive as somewhat, but good Lord.
About that. Not me.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Not Drew was a plus 700 underdog for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, good Lord. I mean, like, Lomachenko looked pretty much vintage. Like, he beat the fuck out of Nakatani. That's not even hyperbole either. Like, it was uncomfortable to watch, like, the last 3 rounds of that fight. It looked like Nakatani didn't have an inside game. So as soon as he got inside, he clinched because Lomachenko was giving him them angles like crazy, and he had nothing for it. And his footwork wasn't that great to keep up with it.
I like his body work, though.
Yeah, the body work. I mean, he had some strategy, trying to go on Lomachenko's body, but unfortunately, so did Lomachenko. he had the strategy too. And Lomachenko just beat the shit out of him with leaping lefts and spinning him around, turning him around, shit like that. And then you have Nakatani just turning away, and I don't know what he was up to, what he thought he was doing, but that shit led to just a strong, fierce ass whooping. Like ain't no word you can miss to say that. Like that was an impressive ass whooping at that too. Like at the stoppage, like I mean, it looked like honestly I thought looked like Nakatani was probably gonna maybe have to go to the hospital. Like he wouldn't go under his own power. Like just the way Duke collapsed after he absorbed that last combination. But yeah, that was a hell of a performance. So I have to give it up to him. Not a Lomachenko fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I gotta give it up to him. That was a thorough ass whooping. Like for real. Like I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I was just a beat down and a half. Like real talk, it looked like a damn Sentinel fighting fucking Nightcrawler or some shit.
Yeah, he made him look like
teleporting and beating his ass like from every angle.
Yeah, it was systematic. That was systematically a beatdown for sure.
Yeah, he made him look like he didn't even belong in that ring. Like it was, and you know, like we always say Japanese fights, they usually fight harder and whatever. But there was something about it. I guess every now and then there are outlier performances that come about. This was one of them. Yeah, Nakatani just didn't know what to do. He didn't fight harder. He was just mostly confused.
The movement and the ferocity, like no one's really attacked Nakatani like that before. Like everything is kind of methodical.
Yeah.
You know, they may set traps, they may counter him, they may take the lead a little. You know, they'll put hands on him, but no one's really attacked him. Like people might have thought, you know, Loma just gonna box dude, but Loma attacks. His style is attacking. He just puts himself in the right angles and position to do so. So he's not hitting you with just one straight left. He's hitting you a straight left, and then he'll dip and do a left uppercut, then a right hand over the top, then throw a right uppercut. Like it's like almost like how Pacquiao used to do. It's like he beat up niggas. Like he might land the same punches Floyd would land, but the totality of his punches just mean more. Like they're more hurting because the way they're thrown.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Then I mean, basically the Nakatani. What?
Oh, go ahead, Pilot.
I was going to say that the Nakatani file didn't take too much time to download all the information needed, right?
Hell no, that shit was downloaded last week.
Yo, for real, like his eye got all swollen and whatnot. I'm hoping that Lomachenko didn't break his orbital. You know, like that would be 3 fights in a row.
I mean, he's been isn't this the third time his orbital is never messed up? Like this guy's gonna have eye problems before he's done, with his career. Unfortunately,
he might be done. I mean, shit. I mean, really, if it might be his last fight. Look, his eye, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a brutal one-sided ass whooping. Like Nakatani's gonna need a little bit of rest, and then most likely he might need to add some new wrinkles in his game. Like, I mean, I appreciate he gave Teofimo a hard time. I appreciate the Verdejo win, but when you get badly outclassed like that, you might want to go smooth out a couple of them wrinkles in your game.
I don't think he can. I think he just is what he is. Like, I don't know. I don't think there's much room to grow. Kind of just is what he is.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, he's still a threat, basically, of style. Styles make fights or whatever.
I don't even know about that anymore. Like people going to be trying to decide which foot they're going to put in his ass. Like they see that you could just be aggressive and shake him up.
Yeah, I mean, he has no inside game. So if the guy on the inside, all he's going to do is he's going to clinch like crazy.
And he don't move his head like that, so he takes a lot of, overhead shots.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Nakatani. I mean, whatever. He needs a rest. Like, I mean, and
it's too open. That lead hand is down too much for how open he is. Like, bro, put both your fucking hands up.
It's a simple concept, right?
Like, dude, you're not Vitaly Klitschko. Like, you're taller than these dudes, but you're fighting dudes that are way more athletic than a lot of these heavyweights were at the time, even now.
Right. And
that shit ain't gonna work. You think you're gonna lean out of the way out of punches, but dude just take a half a step and he'd still clock your ass. Like, come on. Like, that's some shit that can get fixed in the gym, though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Verdejo and the Teofimo Lopez fights, that probably were a gift and a curse to him because he was like, you know what, he didn't really change his style up for this fight, and he paid for it this time. So, but yeah, that was an impressive ass whooping at least, and that was the ass whooping that Lomachenko needed to let people know that he's back. And apparently, there's a rumor floating around that should Teofimo retain against Kambosos, that will be the next fight, the rematch, even though there was no rematch clause. But due to Teofimo's new deal,
I don't want to see that shit. But
they're really trying to force this fight. Like, I wish they would put this type of
against
a young fight, like with Haney and Lopez, or Haney and Garcia, or Haney. I'm sorry, or Lopez and Tank, or Lopez and Garcia. Like, they keep trying to force this fucking Lomachenko fight. Yeah, I'm just kind of like,
you know why?
Seeing it.
You know why? Because all this is showing to me is them trying to force the rematch is basically them. All I'm getting from this is they really wanted Lomachenko to win that first fight. That was set up for Loma to win, and because it didn't go the way they wanted, they're upset, and now they're trying to run it back to get Loma his win back.
Right?
It's clearly motivated by like favoritism.
Yeah, fuck that. I mean, I hope Teofimo keeps the same energy and says fuck that. But then again,
I hope he knocks him out. Honestly,
he has to. Look, if that fight is as close as the first one, and the first fight wasn't close. Let's be honest. First fight is 115, 113 at the closest you could get it.
At the closest.
Yeah, that's how I had it. Yeah, that's how I had it.
Yeah, I seen it as 116, 112.
I had it 117, 111. I don't think I was close at all.
Yeah, so you see, King P had the Pat score right here, but fuck with it. But I fuck with it because it was that type of fight. Like, at the very least, you have to give Lomachenko 3 rounds. He did come back late, That's on the smaller spectrum, but at the end of the day, the fight was competitive, just not in a round by round basis. It was dramatic. It was about as competitive as fucking Wilder Fury won. As far as the drama, intensity, and shit. Like,
oh boy.
No, it was. I mean, hey, look, nigga, we ain't saying with your 117, 111. I'm surprised nobody in the comments is damn having breakdowns. Hey, shit. Like, remember last time, niggas was saying, like, that fight was a draw. He got robbed. So, but all I'm saying is, like, the situation that's unfolding, like, Teofimo has to fucking go for broke and knock dude out. They will rob him.
Yeah, they will.
Especially after all that other shit that just happened to him, because Tiebreak clearly didn't want to give Teofimo any new deals, anything like that, and now they're forced to, because it's like, all I have to do is just let my fights go to purse bid, you can't do it, and then I'll fight off another platform.
all this is making me root for Teofimo even more, because he's obviously like against all odds, like because they're trying to mess with him, they're trying to screw him over.
Yeah, makes no sense. I mean, probably because he's not just he's not being a good old boy for Bob, so that's whatever. But he's a young cat. You should give the young cat some favoritism. I'm just saying, give the young American fighter some
Yeah, and that's why if you like I said, if you wanted this nonsense to be avoided, you were probably low key rooting for Nakatani to actually beat Lomachenko, because after that it would be hard for Bob to actually.
There was a lot of people pulling for Nakatani for the upset. I don't know why, but now I know why. But I didn't think it was realistic.
Pat said, for me, I mean, I kind of want Nakatani win so they could push that Loma tail shit. But yeah, that didn't happen.
But didn't Lopez Sr. say they open for the fight now?
I mean,
yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, Papa Lopez did say that they were open to have the fight.
Yeah, and that's probably because of because after all this shit with Triller and whatnot, they're like, you know what? And either that or they have to go after Haney. So it's like one or the other.
And Bob's not letting that happen. Because they said after Kambosos is going to be Loma, and then he's going to move up to 140.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, of course, that goes in the whole thing. Like, Teofimo's not undisputed. He's unified. He's lineal and all that other shit. But yeah, I mean, it's not gonna. I mean, if he doesn't, obviously, if he doesn't fight, it depends on how you feel. If he doesn't fight Haney, then yeah, he's not undisputed. But it's still his division. He still rules it. So it's tit for tat type of shit. But and personally, I want to say it because I want to see young fighters actually, fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them to fight bullshit if they don't, if it's not required to, but if Teofimo's also having these weight problems, and then you can't wait for him to lose his belts on the scales and shit.
Yeah, like this is gonna come off as some real good timing for Lomachenko. Depend on how, there's so many start and stops with the Cambosis fight with Lopez. That Lopez is going to be having a new child entering the new world.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of, I don't want to say turmoil, but there's going to be a lot of stuff going on in that man's life.
A lot of distractions.
Yeah, that's the best way to say it. A lot of distractions that's going to be going on. And sometimes if you just come at someone 100%, and if we're talking 100% for anybody else, that's like, okay, they got a shot. But if it's a Lomachenko coming at you with 100%, then that might be enough to tip the scales. And who knows? We all saying Lopez should go for a knockout. But shit, it might be Lomachenko that does that. Lomachenko hits hard.
Yeah, he does.
And if he puts his punches together like that, he probably could knock out Lopez. So it's no certain. Like me, if I was Lopez, I would really just be on some like, nah, let me go up and fight Zepeda or somebody.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Honestly, I'm gonna say I'm not ducking him, but I already beat you, and you didn't give me my. You didn't give me my.
If
Lomachenko rematch causing my shit, so fuck you. I ain't
if Lomachenko wants a rematch, let it be at a catch weight. Let it be at 137, 138. That's the only way I would do the fight.
Yeah,
at least have some type of safety net in there for you, because we know he's gonna get a lot of distractions coming up. A lot of shit gonna be going on. A lot of hijinks with the fucking Triller card being pushed back so many times, like crazy.
I don't know if COVID's gonna affect them. I mean, whatever. If COVID's gonna fuck with him.
Yeah, the COVID.
And that's even if it's been confirmed. Like niggas just say he had COVID. We don't know that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because now, the weight issues, that Triller card Triller in a lawsuit. Like, there's so much shit going around. Like, honestly, Top Rank fucked up by the fight would have been over and done if Top Rank would have just paid Lopez what he wanted and just hosted the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think all this bullshit be going on. So now you get Lopez gets a whole year kind of wasted in his career now.
Yeah.
And here we are, and you're still talking about a Lomachenko fight again. So like maybe 4 years were taken away this dude's career, just basically gunning for Lomachenko or fighting Lomachenko.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's really a shame too, because because the lightweights for the most part, they've been moving, but yeah, it's stuff like this when you have this bullshit in the way, yeah, it's really unacceptable.
And lightweight's moving too good for for one fighter or two fighters to be kind of held up like this. So I feel like Teofimo,
right?
He better off going to 140 or make the rematch at like 138. Just put it like, yo, we either go at 138 or we don't fight at all.
Right, but the thing is, Lomachenko actually wants the belts. He actually wants his belts back, so he's not going to agree with that at all.
Then it's the belts or I think honestly it's more about the loss than the belts.
Well, at this point, Lomachenko has.
Look, if Tank had those fucking belts, I don't see them trying to make a fight with Tank.
Truthfully,
or somebody else had those belts that's dangerous. I don't see. If Haney had those belts, you think he'd make a fight with Haney? Hell no. Nah.
No, nigga, that's the whole reason why TFM was like undisputed in the first.
Yeah.
Because
everything comes full circle then, right?
Yeah,
he wants to get back with Lopez. Lopez wasn't supposed to beat him. It ain't about the belts with this shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Pilot.
I was gonna say it's just a shame, like LB was saying, like you get the biggest win, a young 22, 23-year-old cat get the biggest win of his career, and he just he just got wasted, for a whole year. It's just kind of couldn't build up on that. It's bad for boxing, bad for obviously Teofimo.
Yeah,
it happens too often.
Yep, the fuckery cipher got completed. It got completed. Yeah, 360 degrees, bro. So I mean, it's a shame but hey, I mean, Lomachenko brought it on himself. Like all he had to do was fight Haney, and he could have, we could avoid all this bullshit.
Yep.
And now, like I said, everything comes.
And Haney got more credibility now because now this is Haney with a Linares win.
Right. So yeah, I mean,
you could have snuffed that out, but so it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. So yeah, lightweights, as the world turns, man. Though, but yeah, Lomachenko, that was a perfect performance as any to let you know that he's back in the mix. I can't say the same for another fighter in the co-main, in which P, you were absolutely completely right about this one. Of course, I'm talking about Rob Brandt, versus Kazakhstan, and for the ones who've seen that fight, yeah, like Rob Brandt for 8-9 rounds was beaten down on some Laura shit. Like it was really bad. Jab, overhand left, jab, left. Oh, excuse me, jab, straight left, jab, straight left, snap head back, left, snap him all the way back, walking funny. It was wash, rinse, repeat. It was that type of performance. Like this shit was frustrating to watch. But P was right though. That dude had too many fades in a row. Too many fights where he absorbed some shit that he shouldn't have absorbed, and he looked like it. Like he offered no offense, like barely any offense. Like his punch stats were embarrassing. And this is a guy that nearly broke the middleweight record for punches thrown. Saying so. Yeah, it was really bad. And Rob and Bomac is his trainer. Bomac, you might want to go do something with this boy. Like, yeah, he's either not, he wasn't in shape, or he was matched a little bit too tough, which is bad to say because dude, Kazakhstan only has 9 professional fights. It's
yeah. I was gonna say I don't think it's a matter of being matched too tough. It's not that.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Yeah, but yeah, Rob. Yeah. I mean, and it's a shame too because Rob Brandt was entertaining, was a little entertaining highlight for the middleweight division. But you can't get a performance like that and clearly think that have me think that you can actually try to compete for a belt again, regular or legit. I didn't see. I can't see it. So yeah. It was really bad to watch.
Yeah, a rubber match with Murata would be really bad. With this, if this is the Brandt that we're going to be seeing.
Yeah, exactly. Like Murata would put him out in like 2 rounds tops. It's just like Brandt was very. I was probably disappointed in him the most out of all the fights that happened yesterday. It was I was not happy with how he looked. So that was supposed to be a sleeper fight. It wasn't a sleeper fight that per se, made you want to go to sleep, but it was just like you hate to see fights where niggas are not putting up any fight, just taking ass whoopings. Like it's terrible, But yeah, I just had to get that off my chest, man. That Rob Brandt shit. P, you were 100% right on that one. Rob Brandt. Hopefully, you get you get something together, man. You change something, But it looks like he's done as a fighter. He's nearing done. So yeah, I think that's pretty much about it with regard to the top rank card. Now we get into the PBC pay-per-view. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Mario Barrios. Before we get into that fight, though, definitely got comment on the undercard because there are some stuff definitely, and I'll start with the co-main. Jason Rosario and Erickson Lubin. Hell of a fight. Hell of a fucking fight it was. And then you saw the best and you saw the worst from both. The worst being their chins. As both,
That's true, though. That's true.
Not only the chin, the body. You know, it's funny because I put up a tweet last night. And it kind of got some traction. And I said that Jason Rosario has the glass. He actually has the glass body that everybody accuses Keith Thurman of having. Like, this guy really has that glass body. Like, that's really
super
him.
facts. Fucking super facts.
Yeah, I don't know what it is or what he's eating, man. I don't know if he just needs to see a nutritionist or he needs to go to the doctors, but he doesn't.
I think I think he's just too big for the weight. Honestly, I think he needs to go up because that just seems like the guy's just taxing his body too much to make it down to 154, and I feel like that's part of the side effect.
Yeah, like he was looking bigger than Tito at 154, and Tito was looking big at 154. Like this guy is a big 154. Like he's almost up there, like how Jamal Charlo was looking at 154, like big. Like you can take your ass to 160,
or like Hurd for that matter. Like
another one. Like y'all niggas take y'all ass to 160. Like what are y'all afraid of? Like y'all big as fuck. Like
y'all go ahead and fight each other at 160.
Yeah, like y'all too big. Like in Rosario, I'm surprised how he gets his body so cut up for that weight, and it's like it's obviously affecting him. He's feeling drained. He can only fight for like maybe 4 good rounds. Like come on, man.
Yeah, he's tired.
You're hurting yourself for the long term.
Right, but then in the first 4 rounds though, he almost he had Lubin in some trouble. Like this is like Lubin has all the skills and where he has respectable power though. But that chin of his, like, when dude starts coasting, he gets caught, and when he gets caught, he starts doing the hucklebuck. So it's like,
that's why we were saying he has to KO this dude and don't let him stay around. Like,
I mean,
I feel like that's why he did that.
Because even like Kevin Cunningham was getting on his case, like what are you doing? Like you had him dead to rights.
He had him out of there.
Now you're just taking the round off. Like he should have continued it. Like he could have gotten him out that
round. We spoke on dude work rate, like, and I'm trying to keep telling people, look, man, you don't have to be a big puncher to get KOs. You just really got to be consistent. Even if you don't have the temperament of a KO artist or the power, if you just keep putting hands on somebody repeatedly, then especially if you know how to do it in spots where they're on the ropes, or you can fire off 8 or 10 punches and a ref will stop it. Like that's how Lomachenko stopped Nakatani. That was a 9-punch combination, 8-punch, because it was 1 and then he let off 8 after that. So yeah, total it was like a 9-punch combination that made the ref stop Nakatani.
Yeah,
like these dudes are capable of that, and this is a guy in Lomachenko who no one's is saying young. He's not in his prime of his life. He's kind of like the downside of his prime.
Mm-hmm.
So he's no longer Pete Lomachenko, and he's still doing that. So when I see young fighters, of course we expect dudes to be down, putting hands on dudes, getting them fuck out of there.
Right.
So I'm glad he felt the urgency, and he said, look, well, I might not survive one of these desperation moves by this dude. Let me get him out of there.
Yeah, and he did. And
that's the reason why we was getting on Shakur Stevenson with that shit.
Yeah, because for Lubin to get knocked out by him after he had him like struggling, ready to go, would have been a horrible look for him. Like dude would have to go back to the drawing board.
It would have been the whole what's that? Hank Lundy, David Diaz fight, ain't it?
Yeah.
or Mickey Bay and
John Molina.
And John Molina, yeah, another one. Yeah. Who wants to lose a type of fight like that? Like, come on.
Yeah. So it's good. It's definitely good that Lubin got him out of there. And he's now, I think, probably number 1. He's now the newest mandatory for Jamel Charlo. But I'll be honest with you. Lubin will never beat Jamel Charlo. Like,
and the way, honestly, the way that he got Rosario out was kind of questionable. Like, he hit him low the first time, which I mean, like that was yes. Then he hit him on the ground. Like he was clearly on the ground. Like, and he hit him.
He got away with it. The low one you can get kind of like but yeah, the ground one, I'm shocked that nobody really glared over it.
He says so too. Like in the interview.
Yeah, dude in the corner. I think dude in the corner. He hit him on the ground. Like you could hear it through the broadcast, but they didn't say shit about that.
Yeah, no, it definitely was questionable. Yeah, but hey, I mean, you get away with only what the ref let you get away with. So yeah, and that ref was terrible. No, was it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't that fight. It was a different fight. That ref was actually pretty good in this fight. But yeah,
the ref for the ref for Adamas for the Adamas fight was terrible.
yeah, that was, I don't know if that was his first fight or wherever he ref, but he clearly didn't know what the fuck he was doing in that fight. But luckily IMS, he had 2 points took him for, he didn't have the 2 points even taken properly. But at least IMS kind of realized that, this ref is on some bullshit, so let me get rid of this guy real quick. He has nothing for me. So, I mean, and he did that. So Carlos Adames will probably, I think he'll fit in at PBC 154. I mean, clearly, he has enough power, he has enough skills. But now, will he become a champion? It depends. It really just depends on how long, once these belts unify, how long can they keep them unified? And two,
because it's 154. Everybody has a chance.
Right.
In 154, like you have an off night or somebody has their best night, them belts might change hands.
Right. Yeah. 154 has heavyweight house money right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if the judges, if you wake up to some trash ass judges like Charlo did in that first Harrison fight.
Yes, sir.
Then those are two possibilities that happen. Trash judges, or you have an off night and your opponent has his best night of his life type shit, and all three of them happen at 154, like on a regular basis. Usually the other two, the judges don't be coming in the hand with this shit because these ass whoopings be so severe.
Right. But that ref was just awful though. But yeah, Carl Adames, I could see him being a champion maybe in a year or two, depending on, like I said, he has enough to compete in the actual division, but it remains to be seen because his opponent was just basically just brought in to job. Like he didn't offer much, especially once he started feeling some power. So, and then also too in the opener we had Batir Akhmadev, of the Barrios fight fame, versus former world champion Argenis Mendez, and that fight pretty much sort of went the way I expected it to go. The only thing I didn't expect was Mendez countering Akhmadev like pretty regularly. Had him kind of leaking too. I think it was from the punches. I don't know. I don't remember if it was from the punches or the headbutt, or if there was a headbutt. But Mendez though, like I said, because I consider Mendez a little washed, so that those click counts were bothering me a little bit. But as they got Akhmadev is known for grinding people down, starting like mid fight and then get to a later fight, and then Mendez clearly didn't want any more of it, so he kind of quote unquote retired with a broken hand. Akhmadev definitely he got himself a good victory, and. I definitely want to see him versus Barrios again in the rematch, which makes for a perfect segue now into our main event. We have Tank and Barrios. First of all, I have to say it was an action-packed fight. It was a hell of a fight to watch. It
was.
Yeah, they were throwing. They were really throwing in that fight. And optics-wise, it did seem like the fight was pretty close to the first half of the fight. It
was.
I know there have been some arguments that I saw that it wasn't as close as people thought. It was closer than the judges had it. But
yeah, that's true. It was closer than what the scores the judges had. By the time
it's kind of one of those. Well, what do you value more, like type of things?
Yeah, no, but I think. When Tank though broke it open though with those two knockdowns in the 8th round, I think that was the beginning of the end for Mario Barrios.
Well, of course, the power and talent prevail, but like I said earlier, man, Tank had to earn that shit. The fight was highly close in the first half. There was one point where you could have said Mario was winning.
He was
right.
Yeah,
He was. It wasn't really until the sixth round that the tide started to turn for Tank, like completely.
Yeah.
it was very similar. Like I said, it was kind of similar to the LSC fight to some degree. Like where it was just kind of a pretty close fight. 6-6. 3-3. 6 in. You know what I mean? And then and Tank just kind of.
But see, they was going more punch for punch with the Leo Santa Cruz fight. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
that you could have had swing rounds. And this shit, it was more so like one guy was controlling it and winning it. Whereas Leo Santa Cruz and Tank was more of a shootout that the ebb and flow. Sometimes Santa Cruz looked like he'd get a little better of it. Sometimes Tank looked like he'd get a little better of it. And
Yeah.
then it fell into its own rhythm, and then boom, Tank wins. This shit was more like, okay, hold on. I'm not saying this is Israel Vasquez versus fucking Johnny Gonzalez,
Right.
but some adjustments and comebacks had to be made a little bit. So yeah, I thought we got a good fight. Overall, it was a pretty good pay-per-view. Is it worthy of pay-per-view? No.
No, it was not. It was not pay-per-view price, whatever. And
But
then
I felt like it had more entertainment value overall as a pay-per-view than a lot of pay-per-views we've had.
It was a good card. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like overall, it was a good
Man,
card.
that round, to me, that round 10 between them was one of the best rounds I can remember in a long ass time. Personally, for me, I don't know. That round 10 was dope as fuck to me.
Yeah, niggas just throwing hands. Like I enjoyed the fight. Barrios, he did some good things. He did some bad things.
no, the bad thing was he forgot to he didn't use his dimensions enough. Because unfortunately he fell into the Aztec warrior mindset, so he put himself in the line of fire a little bit too much and got ate up.
He did, because I felt like he waited too long for Tank. Like he would stand in front of Tank for too long without moving his hands. And that's a no-no.
Yeah, and there were times where I'm like, he should have used his height advantage more. Instead, he's crouching down. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you crouching down?
Because Tank is already 5 inches shorter than him. Tank is already low, and then Tank was dipping and going low. Like, remember when they were saying Floyd was telling him to Tank go low? That's what he was doing there, because he was making Barrios bring down his center of gravity. And so now when Tank springs up, he don't even have to spring up that high to hit him.
I mean, he didn't have to fall for that trap, because I know what you were talking. I agree.
Of course he don't.
Why are you following him? Like, wait till he dips back up and then bam.
But see, that's a corner shit. That's where ring IQ and what your corner has to do with that. They got to see that. And as a boxer, you got to have enough intelligence to say, like, man, fuck all this low shit. He should have took a step back and just started pumping out the jab on some, like, look, you get to me type shit. Where he was really always trying to chase Tank down and then get to his level like Peace in. And why, I'm like 6 inches taller than you. What the fuck I need to get to your level for?
Word.
And Tank a spring up with those damn those lead lefts or those damn fucking dragon punches or falcon punches and just fucking hooks. Niggas throwing every fucking Capcom SNK move out there with fucking punches.
Yeah, I have to say though, Tank showed a really impressive offensive arsenal.
Hell yeah.
That feint and then right hook combination. I was like, yo, I was like, that shit was highlight. I actually thought the fight was over after he did that shit. I was just like,
yeah.
But the thing is, though, Barrios should have made an adjustment right there and then, not to trade with this dude, but he did make an adjustment, and like I said, the beating came more swiftly.
I felt like his adjustment a lot of times was just fight harder, which is a terrible adjustment to make. Which I mean, he had his. I hate it when they make that. Well, I mean, just fight harder. Like, no, fighting harder. I mean, it made for some more exciting boxing, but it also led to his demise a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Right, and then also another thing too that was underrated in Tank's corner, Floyd telling him that he was losing the fight.
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't really good.
When Floyd said that shit, Tank got his mind, because Because that's sometimes, when fighters are starting to whoop a little ass, they may kind of like fall back a little bit. They might want to coast a little bit.
Yeah, but at the same time, I did appreciate that from Floyd, but I also didn't appreciate him completely undermining Calvin Ford like 90% of the time. Like, let Calvin Ford do his shot.
Yeah, I did see that. I was feeling a little way about that too.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. So yeah, they might have to change that. Like either Floyd's gonna be the head trainer or Calvin Ford's gonna they can't be two head trainers in it because that's gonna lead to conflict. And yes, so yeah, they can't do that. And Calvin Ford, he basically raised Tank, so
yeah,
you don't want to create an unnecessary situation where you don't need to, where it's not needed. So yeah.
But to his credit, Calvin Ford, he didn't argue with it. He didn't show any type of visual disrespect, displeasure with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he let it unfold and it worked. And the win is more important than all them niggas beefing. So,
which is true.
That's true.
Sometimes you got to have the maturity in the situation and be like, look, it could come across that way, but fuck it, I want my man to win. And maybe that's what Tank needed to hear too, though.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm not trying to dick right. It is Floyd Mayweather, so I think it'll be.
Which is funny though, because even though he told him you're losing, he was really winning. Like unbeknownst to him,
he was starting to pull through, but some people could have still had him losing.
Sometimes
he's tied.
Sometimes you need that kick in the ass, just and it worked. So shit.
Absolutely.
And then it goes back to what I used to say about the fight with Eddie Chambers and Calvin Brock. And Calvin Brock has damn fucking the god Sweet Pea Whitaker in his corner with his father. And, dude kept listening to his father, but Sweet Pea is telling him the right shit to do. And he's like if you ever see this fight, oh my God, like the corner moments with Sweet Pea, just basically like yelling at dude and just like putting his heart and soul into his corner advice. And the dude is like looking all confused, like, damn, what should I do? Listen to a fucking all-time great or my dad? I don't know.
In this case, he probably should have, because that's where, of course, Calvin Brock picked up his career-ending eye injury, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, so it just, sometimes you got to look at the result, man. Like, if he would have listened to Sweet Pea in that fight, maybe things have been different for his career.
Right.
And I'm not even getting it's a hard situation, it's not a situation that people get in every day, but as a person, you gotta have the ring IQ to realize, look, hold on. Jesus himself came down here and told me I need to chill with the ad-libs on this verse. My homeboy right here that just be gassing up everything I do because I be paying this nigga. Yeah, I listen to the spirit right now. Like, nigga, come on.
Facts. But like I said, it was definitely a good win. Like, the crowd was into it. Tank though need to be careful about doing them high ass backflips though, because they do got mad
crazy.
I just made a gif of that. That was dangerous though. God damn that.
Yeah, because
we trying to one up Teofimo with the flips, like.
Teofimo gets tight though, but yeah, because how high that nigga jump, like do flip.
I think he did one up Teofimo. Like, you can't say Teofimo has a better competition than Tank anymore. Like, I don't think you can now. I think it's about even. I'm looking at the whole, like, even if you say Teofimo is by a little bit, it's not like leaps and bounds and shit.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the Loma
like the Barrios was a good fucking win, man.
Yeah, Barrios is the warrior for sure. Yeah, definitely.
So when you put LSC, Pedraza, and Barrios, and you compare them to them, Lopez's biggest wins, Lomachenko, Kami, and Nakatani.
It depends, because I don't think that much of Barrios like that. That's the reason why I'm not really.
He's a better fighter than Nakatani.
Like I said, we just.
I'll agree there.
Like, why is this nigga being so difficult? Like, I'm not.
Nigga, because I told you before, I'm not.
Yeah, like I'm saying, look, Pat is making it sound like I'm saying Joe Messi's a better fighter than Tommy Morrison.
I know, but I give Pat's consistent because he hadn't fucked with Barrios ever since
that fight. I've said ever since that fight.
Yeah, but come on, like.
I can't. That's why I can't. That's also I can't give Barrios that type of,
You be consistent to a fault though, nigga. Like that's why I took you so long on the monster bandwagon.
Because, like I said, because the Barrios fight, because Barrios isn't like, I mean, at 140, he's not one of the dangerous niggas in that division to me. There's far more dangerous.
He's still top 10. He's still dangerous though.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when I see someone like Akhmedov who's kind of struggling with Mendez, and I remember him beating the shit out of Barrios for a large stretch of the fight, and I didn't think he won that fight. I can't give him that type of say that that's a best win type of deal. I can't.
but look at Nakatani was getting his ass kicked by Verdejo.
Yeah, but Barrios doesn't have a Verdejo type of win on his record.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I mean, like, hold on. So Akhmadayev and Verdejo on the same level? I don't remember them winning titles. I mean, Verdejo winning a title. Even a GameStop title.
Verdejo will never win the title.
Yeah, exactly. Like stubborn ass nigga.
Horrible human. That's what he was.
Now, Barrios, in order for me to put Barrios, gotta show me some more. Like if for me to put real respect on it, like Barrios has to show me some more. Like I can't say that's a win because, like I said, I never put that much stock in him at 140 like that. I can't do that.
I mean, look, okay. So let's end this. I asked the rest of y'all. Pilot is Barrios better than Nakatani, or is Nakatani better than Barrios?
Yeah, I lean towards Barrios. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think
King P, is Nakatani better than Barrios, or Barrios? Which one is it?
I'll give the edge to Barrios. Slightly to Barrios. As a fighter.
That's all I'm saying. And you know what? If there was a fight next, because Nakatani's a big 135 pounder, if there was a fight at 140, fucking Barrios would be the favorite. And y'all niggas, and Pat knows that shit.
And I also think that that Barrios would actually get his to take a beating from
Nakatani. Oh my god! Like. Oh man, this man, he consistent to the end. Even though it's like, dude, you're going down the street, you're going down to a dead end. But it's a dead end I came at last week, though. But it's the same.
That's why I'd say the Akhmedov Barrios 2 needs to happen. Like I need to see that. I have to see that.
Well, I mean, I feel it was a close fight. I think it could have been a draw, but those knockdowns are a bit sometimes.
They are. they certainly are.
I mean, I'm a Tavares Cloud fan. I'm from Florida, so
yeah.
I know all about.
Oh Lord!
I know all about knockdowns, winning you fights that you're getting outboxed in.
Bro, I was a Cloud fan too, so it was like one of those things, man. Like I still replay that shit. This nigga's mother like passed out in the rain.
I used to think Dawson Duck was ducking Cloud back in the day.
I did want to see that fight.
Now you're bringing him back.
I did want to see that fucking fight. Like, damn, we didn't get that.
We got every other fight with Cloud, but except that one. Shit.
Did we get a Cloud Pascal fight?
No, we did not. No, we didn't.
Yeah, so we didn't get every other fight.
Yeah,
and Dawson fought Pascal.
Yeah, we got Cloud getting the shit beat out of him by Better Beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was washed up Cloud. Like, come on, like that wasn't no prime Cloud or anything.
I know, but like I'm saying that that was when he got put to pasture. At that point it was.
He went through a lot. I mean, he did the Glenn Johnson fight. Cloud faced a lot of good people and beat a lot of good people.
He hurt Glenn Johnson. Like that was the first time we seen Glenn Johnson hurt since like ever.
Yeah, like like he really beat. He was so underrated. But once he stepped up, the Hopkins and the Superman fights and the Better Be fights. Yeah, that was a wrap after all those. And then after, that struggling with that Campillo fight we just talked about. Yeah, it was a wrap. Them knockdowns, boy. Yeah, sometimes you get away with the win, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, so that's all. At the end of the day, like it'd be good for Tank and Teofimo Lopez to fight. But I'm not one of these, and I'm a Lopez fan. I'm a fan of both of these guys, but I'm not gonna sit here and say Teofimo now has like the better competition. Now I feel like it's kind of evened up. Barrios was a dangerous fight for Tank, and it was a fight that was unnecessary. He didn't really need that fight.
Very unnecessary.
When you beat up somebody and you stop them in an unnecessary fight, and it's an unnecessary fight where there's ramifications. Like you could lose this fight. It's still the person actually has a chance against you. And they even win rounds on your ass, even rock you a couple times. Like that's a legit fight. So
yeah, and this is the Tank. I don't think Tank is cut out for this 140 life now because he did get rocked a couple times by Barrios.
Now all that's gonna do now is gonna make Regis Prograis just do a bigger full court press for that fight.
Yeah, that brother's starving. But I do want to see that fight. Yeah, I mean he's been begging for an AB, Tank, a 140 fight that's winnable. That's a payday.
Yeah,
so I do want to see that. I mean I don't know. It's
not that we seen Tank at 140 though. Now the fight looks like okay. It's good. Before it just seemed like Prograis was just on some like, it's like when Shields wanted to keep fighting breakers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And
it has more of a chance happening than some other fights that we want to see him in because Floyd basically went up and admitted that they're keeping Tank with the in-house fights. Only PBC. So I mean, which happens in every promotion, but he's just being upfront about it.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like he just being upfront about that shit because we see what happens. A lot of these niggas ain't really trying to make real crossover fights like that.
Yeah, no.
Honestly, the only one that really has no issues with making crossover fights is Eddie Hearn and Natural, but they do it to their detriment. To the detriment. They lose most of those. Like Eddie Hearn comes out in the losing end most of those crossover fights.
Yeah, but the fighters get paid, and they're doing it. I feel like they're doing it more so for the betterment of the sport, and their fighters get paid. But like you said, they do be at their expense. But at the end of the day, if their guy ain't really fighting nobody like that, then why not?
Yeah, I mean,
Saunders.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has to make sense.
My fault, Pat. Go ahead, my fault, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely has to make sense for real. Like, I mean, there are PBC fighters that actually have got off the platform. Like, Danny Jacobs is the most famous example, which is the reason why people have smoke for Jamal Charlo. And then we have Brian Castano, who went off to get him that WBO belt and brought it back, which I salute.
And remember, we got Hooker Ramirez too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, like Hooker retained his belt on Top Rank because we beat up Saucedo, and then Ramirez returned the favor by taking Hooker's belts. So
the fights can happen, man. It's just people want to blame certain sides, like they all to blame in a sense. But I'd rather you just come up front and say, "Look, we're trying to get these in-house fights done first." Because what happens if someone comes out front and says that puts the onus on someone else to really go above and beyond and send orders. I'm sorry, and send fight contracts and try to really get the public behind them to make the fight. And nobody's really doing that. They just
nobody's pressed to do it. Yeah.
No one really wants to make the fights. Like the PBC side be trying to make the fights harder than anybody, really. At least you just get legit contracts.
But the thing with that is, like, if you're gonna say that, then you have to. Then if there's any backlash from any of the fights that you want to make with Tank and they're not pay-per-view worthy, you inviting that. Like I said,
it's gonna be pay-per-view worthy. I mean, it's gonna be like. Well, I'm saying like. We're not going to get the mix of the four jesters for now. So realistically, under the PBC banner,
this guy said the four jesters.
Bars.
The two Tank fights, I feel like, and I like both these fights, would be obviously Regis Prograis and Chris Colbert. Like those two fights to me are the two fights that realistically we might see that I wouldn't mind.
Okay, but speak up a little, like you're like so low.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, that's way better.
Okay. What I'm saying is, under the PBC banner, realistically, the two fights that Tank probably, the big fights would be probably Colbert and Prograis. Those are the 2 fights.
So the thing is, though, I personally, I don't think Tank should be messing around with 140 now because 140, like I said, that's much more. They have some dangerous niggas at that division and some on the PBC side too that they're not going to match him with. They're not going to match him with Gary Russell or Mateus. They're not going to match him with that because those are those cats will put their foot in his ass or really try to.
And by Gary Russell we mean Antoine
Russell. But and also too that Gary Russell the longtime champion one.
Gary Russell Jr.
Yeah,
Turbo Face.
He's trying to make a fight. He's actually said that Flex would keep him away from it. And I don't think he's probably capping with that one. Because it's like they can make that fight too.
Dudes gotta just put out the offers. If it's a real offer, someone can confirm it, and people just gotta really start putting these whole like marketing behind really trying to sell and make a fight. Through the public. Like, we've seen it happen before.
Absolutely.
But instead, what we get is dudes, when they have a chance to talk shit after fight interviews, they say, oh, holla at my manager, or I'll fight who my boss tell me to fight, or they leave a lot on the table.
That's essentially what Tank did last night.
Yeah, but Tank is in the driver's seat. Tank could do that.
We hear it all the time. If I had
Tank's the money guy.
If I had $1, like it's like if I had $1 for every time back in the day Manny Pacquiao said, "Oh, it depends on my promoter, Bob Arum." Like,
but that's the thing. They the money guys, though. Like, they the money guys. They don't have to call anybody out. And that's the thing. At the time, Pacquiao was still facing top guys, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somewhat.
You say yeah, like when the fuck he wasn't facing
No. Those years of the Bradley fights and those were like the complete.
Is Bradley not a Hall of Famer level fighter?
He is, but I don't want to see it 3 times.
Oh yeah, okay. See, that's all you had to say. Like, damn. but nah, you get my point, man. Like all these dudes, they claim they want to fight each other, but they're not taking the steps to make the fights. And then it's like no one's fighting often enough, so you're out of the public eye. You can't really demand shit in the boxing networks because boxing is one of those "what you do for me lately."
Yeah, you're basically you're basically stifling your momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, if you don't have any type of built-up fight or let me see, certain fights like a Tony Harrison and Jermell Charlo, that was a fight that literally was promoted the whole fucking year.
Right.
And you paid attention to it. A lot of these guys don't have that ability to do that to these fights. Wilder and Tyson Fury is another one that literally will have you focused on those 2 guys and say, fuck the whole division.
Because the fight basically promoted itself. It's an alley-oop. Like, there's no need to really do that on your own. It's just the fight. It promotes itself.
Yeah, but so do these fights. But they just don't have a situation with it. These guys ain't look. We just said how Teofimo Lopez basically had a whole year wasted. Look how many years has been wasted off a Crawford career. Mm-hmm. These guys ain't active enough. Tank Buzz will be good for the rest of the summer, but then in the fall, we're going to expect him to be in another good fight.
Yeah. And then, like I said, when the upsets start coming, we all know what to point to and what caused it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the program, realistically, if you remove everyone else out, I guess the best fight out there for Tank is Regis Prograis.
That's a fight. Easy fight to make.
I don't know what they're doing because the thing is, I think they're gonna go with the whole Floyd Broner trajectory and have him fight a lot of Hispanics and Mexicans and play him up. I think they might not even keep him around a lot of brothers.
Nah, they ain't gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
and that's why Farmer fucked up by not taking the offer and making that fight happen.
Yeah, that's definitely on Farmer. Farmer didn't have the He fulfilled his contract, and he had the belt. He had enough leverage. He had the interest. We were all interested in a Tevin Farmer. Everyone was interested in a Tevin Farmer Tank fight. They were talking that shit to each other, and
viral videos, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, fights like that, those are the organic fights that need to play up, that should happen because they're literally promoted throughout the year. Mm-hmm. It's just like how Shields Hammer was promoted for like a good whole year until we finally got it. The fight was a dud, but it was anticipated as fuck.
Absolutely.
So that's all I'm saying. But I do think Tank had the better performance of the night due to the opponent he was fighting. It was a better opponent, more dangerous. The odds reflected that. The way the fight played out reflected that.
And speaking of that,
Lomachenko did dish out the crazy ass whooping.
He did. And speaking of that, we do have a poll though, which I'll let P lead us into about that. P?
One moment. Loading. All right, I'm back. But had to get everything, get all the particulars in order. You know what I'm saying? But
it didn't take Loma that long to download Nakatani in real time.
Oh, stop it! Well, you know what I'm saying. Our polls punch harder than Nakatani, so you know what I'm saying. It is what it is, but you know what I'm saying?
Nakatani shit, our polls be punching harder than damn fucking Wilder sometimes. Fuck all that. Like,
facts.
Yeah.
Like the Ernie Shaver polls.
But
polls be dropping niggas. Dudes be speaking in other languages on our polls.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
But fuck this, I must tell Ring Gangs my thoughts and feelings.
And whip out the Google Translate. But last night's poll was, we both got a lot of boxing and a lot of focus on both main events. And so it's simple. Both of them ended up in knockout, but who had the better performance last night? Loma or Tank? And still time to vote, so you can still vote. 39 votes so far. And 54% said Loma had the better performance, as opposed to 46% that said Tank, which is very close. Very close.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Personally, I thought Tank had the better performance, but if you thought Loma did, I can't blame you.
I mean, like I said, Loma did put his foot in Nakatani's ass, though. I mean, that was a brutal ass whooping. But like I said, I mean, Lomachenko needed that, and Tank needed this at least.
Yeah, but Tank gave us an uppercut season with some flavor to the body, just alternative uppercut season.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you did call the body a lot, P. I got to give you that.
I did. I said the wrong punch, though. I said a right hook to the body, and he hit him with the right uppercut that basically just dropped him on impact.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say Tank had a better performance because Tank, there was some adversity, but he kept at it, and obviously, the other shit was just kind of one-sided, too lopsided to say, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely picked the Lomachenko one, and that's like I said mostly. I mean, if I had to base off the last performance, Nakatani knocked out Verdejo, and Barrios knocked out Cowboy Carl. Yeah. So it's like, I put one. That's why it's like they made the ass.
This nigga gonna die on this Nakatani hill.
I am, bruh.
Like,
that hill's that's not my hill to die on. I'll
for real.
Yeah, I don't die.
Yo, KP. This about me like when we was reviewing the Ice Cube album, and all of us was like, "Yo, this shit's like a 9. This is like an 8," and this nigga's like, "Man, that's just a 4. No, fuck y'all." I said, Pat is always the odd out kid, yo. Like, man, it's 90 degrees. It's hot as fuck outside. And nigga Pat come outside with a trench coat, like, nah, nigga. In Nigeria, this would be like wintertime, nigga. Fuck out of here. Like, nah, you serious? Like motherfucker just pass out right in front of him. He'll just step over him like the Lomachenko knockdown. They're like, nah, man, this ain't nothing, nigga. Like, have you ever seen an elephant pass out, nigga? Fuck
Good
out of
Lord.
here.
Good Lord.
I'm just saying, like that's Pat though. Like that's our dude. Like that's Pat. Like
that's how I do. I die on hills until there's a hill until there's no more hill to die on. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna stick to that Nakatani Hill.
You can't die and come back to life. Once you die, you die. That's why I'm not dying on the Nakatani Hill. There are plenty of more hills worthy of dying on.
Let a nigga be wrong about Charlo Castano or even Wilder Fury.
Hey, I already said I'm keeping my mouth shut on what goes down for Wilder Fury 3 and Usyk Joshua because I'm gonna let, like I said, the boxing gods can let that shit play out.
The boxing guys haven't been merciful for you for the heavyweights.
Yeah,
and the way Trisora and the way Joshua Joseph Parker and Ruiz been looking, they ain't been healthy on anybody.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna pick. Like, I picked Wilder to win twice, and he let me down because he couldn't take advantage of certain things. So, like, you know what, I'm cool. I'm gonna be neutral. I'm gonna watch this as a Ring Gang fan. And I'm gonna keep it that way.
Well, I've been on record as saying I don't like Fury, so that's where my heart is. But we'll see where my head is come fight time.
Yeah, I don't like either of them. So that makes what I say a lot clearer.
No, I actually like Wilder, so I try to be nice sometimes because you guys are like so ruthless towards him. I'm like, all right, but it is what it is.
He makes it easy. I'll say that he makes it fucking easy. And the thing is, y'all be getting outside there, so it's like I feel like everybody gets got on equally around here. Like,
yeah, like I mean, like Wilder, I just don't support fuck shit. Like some of the shit that he does.
Yeah, and we got on Lomachenko and his damn fucking Crybaby series, the Reloaded documentary before the
Hell yeah,
this is true.
Wasting all that time. I'd rather see him do circuit tricks for like 30 minutes than him bitching about a fucking fight that he.
Or this nigga play tennis or some shit like. But yo, man, well, enough about the past, yo. Time to move toward the future. Updated fight that's happening.
Yeah, so for once we have a one fight card week. Thank God. It's like that one card can get all our attention. But
they overfed us last week.
What's that?
They overfed us last week. You had a tank, a good tank, pay-per-view card. Well, card. It wasn't no work on fucking pay-per-view. And then Lomachenko had himself a decent card. Whenever you get to the top 15 pound for pound level boxers, and Tank is like top 15. He might be at 15. Nigga, I don't know.
Yeah, but Tank is. I know there's a pound for pound discussion going on with Tank right now for top 10. And that's something we can talk about when we actually do our pound for pound discussion.
Yeah, but
how about no? That's my previous to that. How about no?
He's still like a good quality win or two away from being top 10. I mean, look, you got niggas who don't want to make Oscar Valdez top pound for pound top 10. So
and that would be me. That would be me.
Not me. That's not me.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm just saying it exists.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a place for everybody. I'm sure half of Twitter would be like, well, how come Tank can't be top 10, but y'all put Ioka, the Japanese guy, top 10? I'm like,
Ioka ain't make mine.
He ain't make mine either.
Yeah.
Take that up with Ring Magazine, not me.
Like we still got Ring Magazine questions. Like, get in line.
You know what I'm saying though, but that's that. I mean, when we talk about pound for pound discussion part later on that week, we'll definitely get more into the 10, the 11, 15 range. For sure. Like, if Tank would be in there or not, and any top 10 discussion involving him.
15 and a half.
That too. But we have one. Like I said, we do have one more card to discuss. Like I said, one card weekend, of course, and there's a card that got better. We mentioned it the last time we were on there. Of course, it's Chris primetime Colbert. Unless you know him as Little B Hop. I still call him that.
He's not Little B Hop. That's so
nigga. I know he's not Little B Hop, but that nickname caught me. So I was like,
no. We have to retire that.
Be prepared to catch up.
I will die on that hill. We need to retire the Little B Hop nickname. Stop.
Well, he retired it himself.
Yeah. Exactly. So I refuse. I will not allow him to still be called Little B Hop when he.
You wanna still call Muhammad Ali Cassius Clay?
Exactly.
Well, that's because the man changed his actual name. The government name. Yeah.
So the government has a say over what we call ourselves.
Well, yeah, if you're legally call yourself Muhammad Ali, then I'm gonna call you Muhammad Ali.
But if someone tells you and says, "Look, man, I'm not B-Hop, I'm prime time, I'm not Lil B-Hop no more."
You know what? If he wants me to call him that, they can do what Marvin Hagler did. Make his first name or middle name.
Oh, stop it.
This dude. Okay, I let me get another one. Okay. When Daniel Jacobs was saying, don't call me Danny Jacobs no more. That's what my grandmother used to call me. That's when I was a kid. Call me Daniel.
Hey, yo, Pete, did I call him Danny when we met him?
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
I could believe that because at least Pat the size of, at least Pat big enough to throw some of these niggas if you say that.
I'm pretty sure I called him Danny Jacobs too because I always I still call him Danny. I don't remember him saying "Don't call me Danny."
Nah, he said that on the broadcast.
Danny was cool as fuck though.
Yeah, he was.
I do remember him saying that shit. Like
I don't doubt it. I'm just saying I still call him Danny Jacobs. I've never heard him say now I'll call him Daniel.
Yeah. No, I did. Yeah, he did say that like on some public stuff, but I think people still call him Danny after that.
Yeah, like people just was like, man, nigga, you Danny Jacobs, what the fuck?
Yeah, that
and then Danny don't even sound bad. Like, but a motherfucker tell you, like, look, don't call me this nickname, don't call me.
It's just it's inconvenient. It's like there's this football player, this quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, and he's like, no, call me Mitchell. I'm not calling you Mitchell.
Nigga, you Mitch.
Yeah,
you're Mitch. What the fuck is going on?
And if you argue any more about it, it's gonna be bitch. Like, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're a son of a Mitch.
Like, motherfucker, you don't even win games like that, nigga. Your name is Mitch.
Yeah. What's going on? You don't get
Mitch the bitch.
You should be glad we not added the L to your fucking name, nigga.
Bars.
But at least now this fight though, because originally Chris was going to be facing Gamboa, which we all, when we did the summer review of all the fights, yeah, we were all yawn about it. We were not happening, and particularly we had bars for the fight because Gamboa should not be no one's jobber to the stars at this point. Like you don't need to make the rounds from Tank to Haney to Colbert. Like
he don't have the defensive skills of Austin Trout to really make that jobber to the stars work.
Yeah, like if you want to be a jumper to stars, you gotta at least be able to, at least win one of these damn fights. And Gamboa
win rounds at least.
I'm saying, right? And Gamboa is clearly past where he can't do that. So once it turned out that dude got injured rib or some shit like that, and then we got King Tug in the as his replacement. Now we got a fucking fight. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because King Tug, man, the Mongolian fighters, man, them cats be super tough. Like they don't you hit them in the face, they don't be changing their expression. Like they just like, okay, and I'm just gonna pray to this Buddha, and I'll pray I'll hit you back. Like that's all they do. Like so now we got a speedster who clearly has enough, who clearly has it in him to sit down on his punches and get rid of someone. Versus someone with a pretty damn good chin and some power in his hands to boot. So, what are we thinking about this fight?
Oh man, this is gonna be a good fight. I like this fight. Tug is a strong fighter. He's gonna bring it. So it's gonna be interesting to see. He's gonna test Colbert's grit, and we're gonna see what Colbert is made of, because Tug gave, one Gary Russell Jr. a good fight. So
he did.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he fell short because most people fall short to Gary Russell. You know what I mean? But he gave a good account of himself.
Not
So
the guy who beat the shit out of Nakatani though.
here we go again.
Oh Lord! All right, we're giving Nakatani too much shine. That's enough. That's enough. I'm putting a gag order on him. Like it's enough. But I think it's going to be a very good fight. But I think Colbert in the end is going to show, his skills and show, his talent is a level above Tug, and I think he's going to win by decision, competitive decision, but clear decision.
Like what score are we talking about?
Like 117, 111.
All right, Pilot. What about you?
I think I'm gonna go with Colbert by knockout. Actually,
That's actually a pretty that's
a bold one because Tug is tough. Tug is tough as nails.
No, he's tough. No, for sure. It's not gonna be easy, but I think he'll get him out there late. I don't know. I just think.
Nigga, I'd be super impressed if Chris Colbert actually knocks out.
I mean, Colbert hit hard enough, and he throws enough punches to make it happen. Like,
yeah.
This ain't Turbo Fist just putting in a decision work. Like this Colbert we talking about.
Colbert has been. He's been getting like. Kind of when we first came up, he wasn't really a power puncher. He was more of like a boxer. But
yeah, the thing with Colbert though that I couldn't stand though because I used to think he played with his food too much. Like
yeah, exactly. But then it seems like as he's gotten older, he's gotten just bigger and stronger and more. Not a knockout artist, but he's been getting guys out there lately. So I don't.
Yeah, like I mean, I think the Arboleda fight was definitely a step in the right direction because, like I said. Dude. I mean, he knocked out a noted puncher in his division, so it's just like, okay, you clearly have enough pop to do it. Now, I want to see more of that. Like, I don't want you to see you batting your food around and shit like that, and and then bam, the decision. We're going to a decision. Like, I want you to try to at least knock these dudes out.
That could definitely happen. Like, I mean, that could be he could have a bad performance, but I'm being optimistic here, and I'm gonna say he'll put on a show.
Yeah, that's a bold one. Yeah, that knockout. Because like I said, Mongolian fighters are hard to stop. you
for sure, no doubt.
LB, what about you?
I mean, I could see what Pilot talking about with the knockout. I could see that happening. Like, because Colbert, especially if he wants to stay impressive, I know he'll go for the knockout. But Tug is tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but if it's not a knockout, we'll probably end up getting like a 118, 110 decision.
Word. And I do think Colbert could probably win by decision, and I'm thinking probably maybe like a 116, 112 type of decision. But it'll be a competitive one too, because King Tug, I think probably the biggest thing for King Tug in terms of weaknesses is it's not stamina. But sometimes he kind of loses steam. Like he'll start strong, but then he'll lose steam like as soon as he gets like the mid rounds.
That's why I can see where probably coming from with the late knockout. Like if you start losing steam to a guy like Colbert or Fulton, like they put a lot of punishment on you, or they're capable of putting a lot of punishment on you. Where now it's not the time to be trying to just survive.
Right, and I still remember his last fight, which he won by a split decision. And I remember thinking, like, this fight was a lot closer than it should be. Although I thought King Tug clearly won. But I was like, yeah, and that was mostly because I think King was taking too many rounds off. Like, he'd lose steam or he'd take some rounds off. And if a guy wasn't scared of his power like that, you have these really close-ass fights. But at least when he does lose steam, he's not getting like wobbled all over the place or whatever like that. That's the thing. So that's why I'm sticking with the decision. Like I do think it will be competitive though. But yeah, I think Colbert will show another level with this one. Now, like I said, if he knocks out King Tug, I'll be super impressed. If he actually does it, I'll be really impressed. But this is the type of fights that I think someone, if you're not trying to be, if you're moving from being a contender to holding a Reggie belt, at least give yourself some good competition to fight. You know what I mean? So, it made this made it a hell of a lot palatable to watch.
And this fight's at 130, right?
It's at 130. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because Colbert has one of the Reggie belts there.
Yeah.
Hey, so and Tug is moving up.
Yes, he is.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, and then the two and also there's also two other fights on there, and they're like I said, they're prospect fights. We got was it Mitchell Rivera? 20-0, 13 knockouts. He's in the co-main facing John Fernandez, who's 21-1, 18 KOs. Whose only loss was to Shaki Foster, and that was like years ago. That was on Showbox. That was a minute ago. And then after that, we have another interesting fight. We have Darwin Price, who, if you remember, was giving Malik Hawkins all types of trouble until Price blew out his knee or some shit like that with his leg, and Malik Hawkins got an unfortunate TKO win on a Showbox, and he'll be facing Richardson Hitchens, however, last time he was out, oh God,
He looked pretty struggled last time out.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, thank you. That's actually, I was trying to be a little bit nice, but you absolutely right. He looked a little struggled. So yeah, he can't look struggle against this guy because Darren Price, he has something. Like Darren Price does.
Yeah, Darwin Price is actually solid. Like the thing is, for whatever reason, dude career been stagnating. It hasn't gone to the next level in a good minute.
Yeah, and he's getting old too. Like he's over 30 too. So like I mean,
yeah. Like shit, like my sister know that. So. Like,
oh shit. Yeah. Word. So degree of separation.
I ain't, ain't nothing really I can say about it, but I'm just saying, like, I know, like, when I first started hearing about his name, he was sparring Maidana for the Broner fight.
Shit.
And I was seeing the clips, and I was like, okay, this dude on point. Like,
yeah,
and then just somehow, like, he wasn't getting the breaks he was supposed to get. He was in welterweight, like, and there's activity on the lower level at welterweight, like the fringe level. And should just say been moving for him. And then he finally gets that one fight on PBC. Because I know he was signed with PBC for a long ass time.
Oh yeah, he for a minute. Yeah, he's
that's what I'm saying. Like even guys like Jamal James and Ugas and the Lorme have gotten to a certain level. Dudes like Sammy Velasquez came and went type shit.
Right.
And it's like Darwin Price, it don't seem like he ever got over that hump. And then when he gets that TV date and
he's winning
and then he has the knee problem.
Yeah, and I hated seeing that too because
that shit broke my heart, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude was whooping some ass. He looked like he was about to end that shit too.
Exactly, and as a nigga with knee problems, that shit really. Whenever I see a knee problem fight, like that shit always do it for me. I be like, no.
Yeah.
it hurt to rewatch Sean B. Mitchell Costa Zoo 1.
Facts.
And then there's no crying in boxing. Knees everywhere took an L that night.
Yeah. Like so, you hate to see someone not have the type of momentum that they should be having, and you can clearly see that they're talented. So, I mean, knocking out. I mean, Richardson still has his zero. I mean, Richardson for his most part. I mean, he can box. He just doesn't have a lot of power. Like, I mean, he nearly lost to Mendes in his last fight out. Like, that's not really a good thing.
I mean, but it's a capable fight. Like both guys could win this, and like this is the stagnating award. Like this is the fight. Like whoever wins is finally could probably get some real momentum into their career because Darwin Price was like too skilled. He was too solid to not been on the TV a couple times.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, like this just just being as somebody on the outside looking in type shit. Like.
Yeah,
like his whole careers came and went within that time.
Yeah,
so I just want to see dudes at least get to the ceiling they supposed to get to, or see if people really that good and get to the next level, so we get some new fights, man.
Right, and then that's it. I mean, whether it's going to be at 140 or 147, depending on wherever he wants to go. I mean, 140. I mean, like I said, 140. PBC's 140 stable is low key starting to build. So, like, I mean, they have some fighters there. You know, like
Yeah, he make a name for himself. He could be fighting Tank. Shit.
Exactly. But yeah, it
like,
also.
And I don't mind these because I don't mind these type of fights, you know. But they don't have to be on pay-per-view. But like,
no, and this is why it's
they're
great.
dangerous fights.
And that's why it's great to me that this shit is regular Showtime. It's it's an opener. It has a TV day, has a clear spot that people will be watching. So that's why I'm hoping that he actually does he actually does come through and get that good win over another prospect. And it's hard, and I hate saying that Darwin Price is a prospect still because he's getting up in age. He's like 30 or 31, some shit like that. He
might be like 33, 34.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, he doesn't. Time is not on his side. I want him to at least be able to challenge for a Reggie belt at least.
Yeah, exactly. Saying that you former title challenger is better than saying former contender.
Yeah, exactly, or fringe contender.
Or fringe contender. Like, what the fuck is fringe? Like, people in the sport who know are gonna be like, okay. That means he was maybe top 15, top 20 in the world. Okay, respectable.
Right.
The average person is going to be like, what the fuck? Like, what? You was a playoff team, nigga? Like, you didn't make the cut? So, no, you're not even AFC.
You're in the bubble playing. That's what you.
Yeah, so getting title shots and taking certain fights, they paramount to your career, especially if you don't have no type of social media identity. And remember, with boxing is a sport where if you just know boxing, people are going to say you're the boxing guy. Imagine being an actual fucking boxer, professional fighter, and people still refer you to you as the boxing guy.
Yeah.
So if you go somewhere in the sport, motherfuckers gonna call you champ.
They do, and if they don't, they just call you. I mean, they just call you. Yeah, they just don't call you champ.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be the boxing guy, or you'll be Bob, or you'll be Leon, or Jermaine, or a Travis or something. You'll just be whatever fucking name you have, nigga.
Facts though, but
you'll be Greg or some shit.
But I'm definitely excited about this card now. It's just like, okay, we got a good main event. We got like 2 contender type fights on there. That's all we asked though. Like I said, PBC's been killing these type of matchmaking like lately on Showtime. Not Fox though. Definitely not Fox, but Showtime for sure. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. It'll be Saturday night, 9:00, I believe. Hopefully it's 9:00 because they'll need to be having this at 10:00 though. Like 9:00, we good. Like,
I'm not with no 3 fights.
Yeah, no.
With that might go the distance, or you don't know what the fuck could happen. No.
Yeah, no. It's like no. You gotta make sure. Hopefully they get that shit right. But yeah, I think that's pretty much about it in terms of what we need to discuss today. So, definitely a good cast or whatnot. It's definitely entertaining. The jokes and whatnot was flowing as usual. So yeah, final thoughts. Pilot, final thoughts.
You know what it is. Ringing radio over here. It was a good weekend of leftovers, some Lopez and Charlo leftovers, and a little bit of other shit sprinkled in. So good weekend of boxing. Next week should be good, and the summer.
Yo, nigga, you smoke louder than you talk, bro. Like louder, please.
I don't know my microphone, but my mic's fucked up. Ring Gang Radio. Let's get it. Summer's gonna be some good boxing. That's all I got.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, I heard all that. See, okay, that's what's up. What's up?
You made this nigga get hyper. AOP, what about you, bro?
I mean, you already know what it is. We had a good weekend of boxing. More boxing. We just need more dope nights of boxing, but not all crammed in at once. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
we got a lot on the plate coming. I want to be able to eat it all and not throw up after, from gorging too much in 1 week. So
Facts.
So you got the lineup is coming. So you know what I'm saying, I'm happy. I'm hoping all the fights are good. I hope everybody enjoys all the fights. And other than that, just keep it boxing. Ring Gang Radio. You know where to find us at ringgangradio.com. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You know the vibes. We got some stuff coming out soon. Episode 3 of the cartoon's coming out real soon. You know what I'm saying? Be on the lookout for that. And we got, some other stuff on the way. So just be on the lookout.
Absolutely. LB, final thoughts?
Oh man, Ring Game Worldwide. Just follow us on Podomatic. You already know what the deal. Podomatic, Spotify, Anchor. Shout out to Anchor.
Yes.
And subscribe to the YouTube. Share, comment, like. Put your friends on. It's the best podcast out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We live this shit. Eat, sleep, and live boxing.
Yes.
So that's all it is. That's what all it's about. I think Pat working on a Forgot Fade article. Still got the cartoon working. Finishing up the top 5 album. And the logistics done. Pretty much, we got a lot of shit cooking. When it boil over, we'll put it out. So what the deal is. Probably make sure y'all check out the Pound for Pound list on the website. Let's go to ringgameradio.com. You go to Pound for Pound list. We'll be having an episode about that soon coming up. So y'all make sure y'all check out my review for the boxing anime. Cestus the Roman Fighter. Y'all check that out. I don't sleep on that. That shit's dope as fuck.
Don't sleep.
If you got hands, if you ever box or train, you'll fuck with that anime. Just 11 episodes, it's quick. And you enjoyed it. You fuck with all the reviews and shit. Other than that, we out, man. I'll bring it back to Pat.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I don't have much to add on, other than what the brothers already said. Other than definitely, sub to our YouTube, and then make sure you tell your friends, and their friends can sub so that we can all be friends. I always say that because, like I said, we do this shit for y'all, and like and it's in your right to hear some of the best shit out here on boxing, and we are that shit. So you need to do that. So for myself, Pascal Brady, New England representative. For LB Shuttleworth, the God, the GOAT artist, for King P. Bodega P, and for Conscious Pilot, this has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So, until next time, peace.